Hi you guys, I already primed my eyelids using this LA Girl Pro concealer in the color Pure Beige, and then I took this contour palette from Beauty Treats and Set That. So right now, using this brown shade from the Nubian palette from Juvia's Place, I'm going to put that in my crease, and I'm using the Essential Crease brush from Real Techniques to do so. Starting out in the outer V area, that's where I'm applying most of the product, and I'm making sure I stay underneath the brow bone, and I'm just slightly dragging it to the front of my crease, making sure to blend it out real smoothly. Using the Nubian 2 palette from Juvia's Place, I'm going to dip into that shade Morocco, and I'm going to put it right underneath where I applied that last nude transition shade. And I'm going to just blend this out really nicely as well, using the same crease brush. Going in with the Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place, I'm taking that shade Ada and I'm layering that on top of what I just did. And I'm using that shade to deepen that crease area. Going in with the clean eyeshadow brush, I'm just softening the edges and the hard lines and just going over the work that I did and just really making everything transition smoothly. So now I'm going in with this Maybelline Color Tattoo in the shade Just Beige, and I'm using that to cut my crease. Later on in the video, you see I changed my mind. I decided to do a halo eye instead of a cut crease. But this is still the base that I'm using. Taking that same crease brush that I used in the beginning, I'm just using it to clean up around the area I just did. And so now I'm using this brown pigment. It's a loose pigment and I got it from TKB Trading, and the color is called Brown Oxide. And I'm using that to deepen my crease some more, and I'm dragging that a third of the way from the outer corner of my eye. Again with another Juvia's Place palette. It's called Zulu, and I'm taking that pink shade and I'm using a flat brush to pack it on. I believe this is the eyeshadow brush from Wet n Wild. And again, I'm just packing that onto the lid. Dipping back into that Masquerade palette with that shade Ada, I'm putting that in the inner corner of my eye, and this is where I begin to start my halo eye. And now I'm also dipping back into the Brown Oxide pigment from TKB Trading, and I'm using that to deepen it up some more because it wasn't deep enough on its own. Going back to the Nubian palette, I'm taking the darkest shade and I'm going over everything that I just did, bringing everything all together and making it nice and dark. And now back into the Zulu palette, I'm taking that same flat brush from Wet n Wild, and now I'm just packing it onto the middle of my eye, and I'm just making it nice and opaque. So going back in with that crease brush, I'm blending out any harsh lines, and I'm going back into that contour palette from Beauty Treats, and I am using this Real Techniques shading brush, and I'm just packing that on my brow bone area, and I'm lighting up that area. And I'm choosing this shade because it's matte. I didn't want any more shimmer on this eye look, so I'm just going to use that to blend it out some, and I'm just blending out the edges once again. Going in with that Tarte clay paint liner in black, I'm going to start the base for my eyeliner, and then on top of that I'm going to use the Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Trooper Black to make everything nice and sharp. Now I'm starting on the face, and I'm going to use this Shea Moisture Daily Defense Moisturizer to help prep my skin for the rest of the makeup. And so I'm using this Fenty Beauty primer, and I'm going to rub that in, and I really do like this primer. It's nice. Taking the buffing brush from Real Techniques, I'm going to use that to blend in this Fenty Beauty foundation in the shade 350. And for this application, I started off with one pump, and I then later went back in with a second pump just to give me a fuller, more even coverage. Using this Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer in the shade Tan, I'm going to go and put some of that under my eyes. A little really goes a long way with this product. And I'm putting some of the concealer in some of the darker areas on my face just to brighten them up just a little. And I'm going to use this Real Techniques angled foundation brush just to blend it out, and I'm using light tapping motions to do so. And I'm going to go in with this Fenty Beauty matchstick in the shade Wheat just to brighten up that concealer some. And going back in with that buffing brush, I'm just going to blend out everything so it's really nice and smooth. And using the Fenty Beauty matchstick in Mocha, I'm going to use that to contour my face. And I'm going to go back in with the same buffing brush and blend it out. Using the medium sculpting brush from Real Techniques, I'm going back into that Beauty Treats contour palette. Taking that light shade, I'm going to set my under eye concealer and anywhere else I concealed. Using the same brush, I'm going into this Black Radiance pressed powder in the shade Bronze Glow, and I'm going to use that to bring warmth and dimension back to my face. I'm going to set everything using this Fenty Beauty Matte blotting powder, and it's just a translucent powder. And I'm going on top of that with the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in Trippin', and it's a highlight, and I know that cream highlights over powder is a beauty no-no, but this highlighting stick actually doesn't cake up when I use it like this, and I actually prefer to use it after powder because it kind of disappears if I put the matchstick on first. And I'm just gonna layer the highlight, and I'm using the shade Daydream in this palette to go over that Fenty Beauty highlight, which is almost identical in shade. One is just cream and the other is powder. Now, using this Black Radiance pressed powder in the shade Honey Caramel, I'm going to go and clean up underneath my contour so that way everything blends and my face doesn't look muddy. So this right here is my all-time favorite mascara. It's the L'Oreal Voluminous False Fiber Lashes, and I'm going to apply one coat to my top lashes. So I'm taking this pair of Huda Beauty lashes and I'm going to apply those. I don't have the exact name of this particular style of lashes because I've had them for so long. Going back to that blending brush and using that loose brown oxide pigment, I am sweeping that across my lower lash line. And then just finishing up the eyes by coating the lower lashes with some mascara. So now for the lips, I'm taking this Sephora Rouge Gel Lip Liner in the shade Molasses, and I'm lining my lips with it, and I'm making sure to stay inside of the lines, and I'm going to use my finger to just blend that out to make sure the transition between the lip shade and the liner is smooth. So now going into the center of my lips, I'm using this Ruby Kisses matte lipstick in the shade Nude Rose. And once again, I'm going back with my finger, just blending that out. And to top it off, I'm using some of the CO Bigelow Mentha Shimmer Tint Lip Gloss in the shade Bare Mint. So taking this Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, I'm going to use that to finish the whole look and to blend and smooth everything together. So here's the finished look. I want to say thank you guys for watching, and subscribe if you want to stick around and see more content. And don't forget to thumbs up.